All right, continuing this podcast slash vlog. It is Saturday afternoon, October 21st. And yeah, I have a stain on my shirt for people on video, and it is trying to drink some beverage in the car because I feel like it's one of those days in the minivan where your entire day is just spent in the car or outside of the house. So I'm trying to, I don't know if I have no clue whether I'm optimizing this for YouTube video long form or for podcast or both. I mean, I don't know, can you optimize for both? But having said that, I'll very much admit I'm so new to the vlogging stuff that I don't know what to do. I think that some people may try to grade me on a curve or what am I trying to say? Harshly. They might grade me harshly, like I know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to do this, make things up as I go along. So having said that, a lot of what I'm doing with my podcast after the first season is experimental. This is part of it. I am just trying this out. So if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. What is the measure of success? I don't know. I think people are going to tell me whether they liked it or didn't. And there's a bunch of people who give me, really good, constructive criticism. Some people who don't, and that's fine. In the sense of like, I'm not for everyone, but I'm just giving this a shot. So having said that, I should now turn my attention to talking about Chantilly. Day one was amazing. So I finally got to, get media credentials for a show, and I got to see the back area where the athletes sign. So it's really interesting. They have like a bunch of helmets and jerseys for athletes to sign before they go out to the public to do the photo op and then do the autograph sessions. And then they go back to the back room and sign more. I will also say, and again, I don't know how much of this is going to show up in video, but actually I couldn't catch this on video, but it was really cool to see some of the athletes in the hotels, just kind of not like living their normal lives because they're there for the show, but they're just kind of there, like, walking by, and it's like, there's Dennis Rodman, right? And some of the restaurants in the area were like, yeah, we just served Joe Montana and things like that. And I thought it was kind of like national. I think Gibson Steakhouse got a lot of the athletes, served a lot of athletes there. And for me, I don't know. It's like a really weird mix, right? Like, you don't want to be a gawker or a stalker. But cards, it's like you are idol worshiping. So it's really interesting. I don't have the card in front of me. And again, even for audio, you wouldn't be able to see the card. But I did make a trade for this 2013-14 Upper Deck Exquisite Signature Kicks Dennis Rodman, part of his shoe, and with an auto. He doesn't have like the best auto, but with an auto on card, and it's like the thickest card I've ever seen. It's like one of those, it's as thick as maybe like 3 booklets. That's how thick it is. So I guess they have to make it that thick for the shoe component of things. But it was really funny. I'm like literally trying to make a trade for that card as Dennis Rodman is 20 feet away from where the trade night is happening and where he's just walking by. And, he's like, no one like try to stop him and, try to take pictures. But I just thought it was so cool. So I did go up to his handler and I was like, hey, can I show Dennis Rodman this card? And he's like, hey, you're going to be at the show tomorrow? And I was like, yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not, because it's I'm doing like a lot of family stuff today. But I was like, yeah, I'll be there. And he's like, okay, great. You'll meet him then. So I was like, all right, no, okay, fair enough. There's a fee for that. So I was just really, it was like a surreal moment. It was a really cool moment in my hobby journey here, trading for a card of a player I really admired, growing up, just hard-nosed defense, rebounding, doing all the dirty stuff so that, the better offensively skilled players could shine. I feel like that's my game. For people who have played basketball with me, they know that's the putting on the hard hat. That's the type of basketball that I like to play. And so to see him walk by, didn't try to ask for a selfie, didn't ask for an autograph. I just wanted to show him the card to be like, hey, look, I just traded for this card from you. But other things that happened yesterday, I got to meet some folks that that I've gotten to meet at National, and some old hobby friends and friends who are dealers in the local area, and also some new friends. I think I posted about it on Instagram, but meeting the YouTube vlog king, Jay Mojo Sports, that was really great. And Kayla Collects, who's also doing some amazing content, written and short form and things like that. It was really cool to see. And so I got to meet them, and I got to meet a bunch of other folks. I'm really bummed to be missing out Saturday, because this is the day when a lot of the bigger names and the most number of athlete celebrities are there. Like not just Dennis Rodman, but like, I forgot the whole thing, but it's like Iverson's going to be there, and Johnny Bench, I think. Oh my gosh. You know what? I should stop saying names. I did see like AJ Green. I saw a lot of his jerseys ready for him to sign. And, Chantilly Chantilly card show, CSA shows. Thank you so much for giving me that access just to see the back room. And I would love to, I can't wait. So I'm going to go Sunday. So whoever's there at that point, I'll go check it out. But I don't have the schedule on me off the top of my head. I'll try to keep this under 10 minutes, this short little thing, and then I actually have to keep driving anyway. But yeah, I continue to be just amazed by literal and figurative doors being opened for me in the hobby. I find it to be, it's one of those things, right? Some people think it's not inclusive, or it's not this or that. I just try to, see people, meet them where they are, and I try to be nice and respectful. And I feel like if you approach people in a nice way, yeah, it's no obligation for them to say yes. But I do see, not just in the hobby, but in life, if you are a nice or decent person, and actually there's a difference between being nice and kind. But I think if you try to, show that you are a kind person, that people are willing to do things, go out of their way to help you out and things like that. So I feel very lucky to have felt the love, and to be, to feel that inclusivity in the hobby. So having said that, I know the experience is not the same for everyone. So I'm just speaking for myself, and just how much, like, this past year, I feel like, last year Chantilly, I was just kind of walking around and just had no clue what was going on. And I feel like now, just in a span of a year, I just feel so much more like plugged in, and just more really immersed in the world of the hobby that we love so much. So, but that comes with people kind of, welcoming me in. So I think that's just so fantastic. Let's see what else. I think I made about maybe 8 deals yesterday with members of the public. I didn't buy from dealers, I don't think. I have to look back at my camera and just figure out what happened. It was all such a blur. But there were 2 cards that I had for literally like less than 30 minutes to an hour. I mean, I think one card had for 10 minutes. So I almost became like this middleman. So this kid, and I helped out with the trade night, the kids trade night that was hosted by on campus sports cards out of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. So shout out to Larry and his wife for hosting the kids trade night. It was at the near the Autograph Pavilion for Chantilly show. I thought they did a fantastic job. I don't know how many kids were there, but everyone was smiling and having a great time. I think at least like 40 kids. But they were all having such a blast. And I did not, it was supposed to be kids trade zone, but I was there to help out, and also to help educate the kids just about, what to maybe look for in grading, and looking for in a deal, and just trying to transact, and how to be a kind person in a transaction without, with being able to get, what you're trying to get, what you're looking for. So it was really funny because they asked, can they see my cards? As an adult, I don't want to be in a kids trade zone trading with kids, but they wanted to trade with me, and I was I think, extremely fair with them. Sometimes, losing a deal, it's okay, right? I mean, I can absorb that, but I just wanted the kids to get the feeling of transacting, but also if there are cards that they didn't want, but, I was like, okay, I could I'll get that card and it's fine. So there's this one Justin Herbert, was it like a rated rookie retro Panini Instant? All the cards say 1 out of 2044. So I was trying to tell the kids, this is not one of those cards where this is like the first on the print. They all say 1 out of 2044. And I guess they made 2044 out of them. But I traded for the card. I even forget. I got to figure out what I gave up. But, I gave comparable value, and then another kid wanted it 10 minutes later. So I was like, yeah, please, let's trade. And it's so funny. He traded me his Justin Herbert, rookie card in a PSA holder. They were both PSA 9s. So it's almost like we're trading the same player, the same grading company, grading the same grade, PSA 9, but it's just that he wanted a new card. So I was like, sure, let's do it. So I was glad to do things like that. And later, the Dennis Rodman, I did trade a card that I had gotten from earlier that day, like a Jalen Hurts. Was it an RPA? I can't even remember anymore. But I had that card for, let's say I had it for like 4 hours. 2 of those hours, 3 of those hours was like just kind of logistical stuff and not like, making deals. And I didn't feel like I had the card. I literally had the card for like a hot second. And then I saw a card that I wanted better. And so I moved into that Dennis Rodman card, which is just really cool. I think it's cool to just kind of have. And maybe if someone wants it, I trade that too. But I'm not usually the type to make all these deals and wheel and deal and flip and do all this stuff. But I went out of my comfort zone. I stayed at the Holiday Inn, the lobby, a little bit past midnight, much later than I wanted to. But there were people there trading, and I felt like, there were some decent people there, decent deals. It wasn't like, I didn't feel the most, like it wasn't like the warmest, friendliest. I felt like there was maybe a little bit of like people who were being cutthroat and like feeling like they had table equity. Like this one person, I dealt with, I just felt, was taking, oh, I have this, I set up first, right? It's like they had a table. It's like they were like, well, I got to get out of this card for this and that. And it's like there was a lot of like dealer talk, but there is no table equity in a trade night. But there were some people who were treating it like, first come, first serve, just because they had the table ready, that they could kind of like get that table equity. And it was just, you navigate around it. And if you can't, and they're just being too insistent, there's so many people to trade with. There's so many cards to trade for and to trade out of. So, that's what I really felt like I got out of that night was, some lessons to have learned, and just continuing on. So I blew past my 10-minute mark. I just wanted to share my thoughts with a recap of day one. Day two is just family stuff. I have to go now, and then I'll do a recap or a start for day 3 Sunday. So thank you very much. Wait, where am I?